But in 1985, J. Michael Grant arrived as our second minister of music, and under his leadership, we got the beautiful Andover organ, not until 1989, because it was a huge project, as you might imagine. But we got that one, plus the organ in the chapel, which was a gift from Guy Neal, a member of the church. Now, some of you have thought, I know, that it was an antique. It looks like an antique, but it's not. It was new in 1989. And when you leave the church, if you haven't been in the chapel, stop and look at it. It's very pretty. It has no pedals, so it's a little frustrating to play, at least for me to play. But we play it. We have it every Sunday. Before the new organ came, there was carpeting all over the sanctuary, but after that was installed, or before it was installed, I guess, they ripped up all the carpet, and the marble, which you now see, was there, and that helps the acoustics a whole lot, the quality of sound also. Now, we have always had good music, as I've said, and I guess you know I'm kind of proud of being a member of this choir for all these years. And we've had chancel choir, youth choirs, children's choirs. We have a beautiful set of handbells that were given by Flo Jones, who was an ardent supporter of the music program. But our present minister of music, Suzanne Reel, has brought all of this to a new level. And not only is the music fine, but she's given so many opportunities for bonding of all the choirs and for service in the community. And her joy of singing praises to the Lord is foremost in her heart and transfers to us. So we thank you very much, Suzanne. And we thank you. I have a few photographs, if I can work this. This way. This one?
Yep.
This one? All right, well, that was the last place. That's where the Austin organ came from. Now, I wanted you to see this picture. This has a little bit more of the organ pipes than in the one that Buddy had. I wanted you to see, first of all, how large the church was. Apparently, in the 19th century, it was customary for there to be pipes in the front that were not speaking pipes. They were a facade, and the real speaking pipes were behind. So I think that's what happened here. But then, can you imagine packing up all those pipes, even if it weren't the ones in the front, packing all them up and transferring them and installing it here? It's just a major, major operation. I wish we could have heard it in its heyday. All right, the bulletin on the left was the last one from the service down at Madison and Grace. On the right, the first, well, no, that's wrong. We got another one, I think, I hope. Yeah, the one on the left is the Madison and Grace last service. The one on the right, First Presbyterian first service. Yeah. Now, of course, you see the chapel. This was the parlor, much bigger than the one we have now. The parlor was about as big as both the chapel and the parlor, maybe even bigger. And that piano, I think, is maybe this one. Suzanne thinks it is. It's a very old Mason and Hamlin piano. All right, this is important. I don't know who any of these people are except for this lady right here. What happened to my pointer? They moved it. Oh, no, it's over here. This is my pointer. You know the date? Well, it had to be, it could have been in the 50s because Ruth remained a member here a long time, although she did go to play at 7th Street Christian after Mary Ann came. So it's probably late 40s. But here she is. Ruth Chesson. And don't you think the lady, those of you who remember Lydia Furl, don't you think this may be she?
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, could be. But that was all the space we had for a choir. Look at the caps. All the ladies in those days wore something on the back of their cap. Now, this was at the dedication of the first choir with Mary Ann. And as you see, we all have a little, well, they were the adults. I was still a teenager at that time. But even we, as teenagers, wore the little, there may be some more dignified name than a cap, but it was a little gray thing. So, as you can see, there were men in the choir, thank goodness. And that's Dr. Carson, of course. All right. This were the combined choirs. Now, I will point out the people, if I can. Now, that's Mary Ann Gray. Dr. Carson. Let's see. Sorry, it's fuzzy, but that's Susan Mountcastle, who was Susan Miller at the time. And that's Ann Gordon Dickerson Harrison, who was at first a deacon, woman, female deacon. And I am up here on the first row. All you can see is my forehead. But. And then next to the front is Betty Roney Chesson, who was his Bev's good friend now. She was a daughter of Ruth Chesson. Now, Jay, I don't know. You'll have to look at it close up. But there are right many little boys in the back row there, so that's good.